is the brand new MacBook Air with the M2 chip inside. The first impressions when you get by having the laptop is just how thin and light the laptop is. But under that beautiful new midnight color, there are some small issues. But do those issues make the MacBook Air a horrible laptop? Well, let's get into it, and I guess on the way we'll find out. Now, I've used the MacBook Air for over a week now, and I can confidently say that it is a small but powerful machine. I can confidently edit 4K footage that was actually filmed for this video on the MacBook with barely any hiccups. Yes, it does stutter here and there sometimes, but it's nothing crazy comparing it to, say, an Intel MacBook Pro or Air, where you would probably get the beach ball thing every time. Another thing that is also new about the MacBook Air, except the M2 chip and the new colors, is its brand new design. So you can basically say we take the MacBook Pro design, we slim it down, we add an LCD screen, we have thicker bezels, and that's basically the new MacBook Air design. I really like this new design, especially on the MacBook Air, since you cannot see those stupid rounded off corners, because I really hate those on the MacBook Pro. They're just so big, it kind of looks like it just doesn't look that good. Now, mainly what I do on the MacBook, either it's my Pro or this Air that I'm reviewing, is editing videos in Final Cut Pro. So export times were still fast in Final Cut Pro, yet they were slower compared to the M1 Pro. If you really want to see how much slower, well, here's that little time lapse that I filmed. To note here, this is the base model 256GB version. Yes, it is that same one with the slow SSD. A lot of people on YouTube making those clickbaity videos kind of. I didn't notice that the slow SSD would impact web browsing or even some light productivity apps, but where I did notice once again was editing videos in Final Cut Pro. Importing footage took much longer, not that much, but a little bit, where you could see it, than on the M1 Pro. Also, while editing videos in Final Cut Pro, I noticed that a couple hours of editing, the MacBook Air would get pretty toasty, since the Air doesn't have a fan, so it has to thermal throttle sometimes. But it's not all gloom and gloom for the MacBook Air. The MacBook Air shines with its ultra portable design and weight. You can literally take this MacBook Air anywhere. You can just carry it with you or put it in a backpack. It is just as light as an iPad Pro at 12.9 inches, but since the MacBook Air is running macOS, you can do Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, Photoshop, Illustrator, you name it, you could probably do it. Of course, slow, but it'll do it. But is it that good to replace the MacBook Pro 14-inch? Well, no. You see, fans and active cooling and more cores do make a difference. The MacBook Pro 14 inches does have more ports, which I've gotten used, and also the Air does have a worse screen. It doesn't have the Liquid Retina XDR, basically mini LED. So the MacBook Air is a really nice portable computer, but it does sacrifice some of those things to be that portable. But in the end, the MacBook Air is great, but not for me.